Hello, welcome to Scrap Time. My name is Christine, and in this video, I'm going to be making a card using the Holtz Distress crayons. Today, I'm going to be showing you the Holtz Distress crayons. I have two sets here, the neutrals and sort of the brights, and then there's another set out with these sort of earth tones, and they are referring to them as water reactive pigments. So I'm going to show you how to make a card similar to these. So there's a few steps. I'm going to be putting down the crayons and then putting some water to make a background. I'm then going to add a bit more color over top, just with smudging it on with my finger. And then we're going to remove some of the color with a stencil. So I have a background here, and what I've done is I've already put a layer of gesso over it. And I'm going to be using pink, picked raspberry, spiced marmalade, and mustard seed. And then I have another piece of watercolor paper here that doesn't have gesso on it, just so you can see the difference. I highly recommend, if you're going to use it with water, to put gesso on. So what it is, you pull it out, and then you can twist this to make your crayon go up or down. And you just apply it to your surface. Now, because I'm doing a background, I'm just randomly, and I'm going to put a little bit here too, just to show you the difference. And you can blend your colors. And you don't have to worry about that pink or orange getting onto the yellow. It won't affect it. I'll put a bit of yellow down here. So then I'm just using a brush with some water. I have a glass of water. Now I'll show you over here. If I do it on where there wasn't any gesso, you can see it's hard for that color to blend out. But on this one here, where I had gesso, it is just going to go into that paint. Now, the more water you use, the softer your color is going to be. I'm just going to put a little bit extra pressure on there to blend out the color. So you can see that this is quite a soft background. But that's okay, because we can add more color to it. I'm going to just wipe off the extra water here. And I'm just going to hit this with my heat gun just to take off some of that water before moving to the next step. So my card is now dry. Now you might be able to see that when I applied my gesso, I added some texture. So instead of being completely flat, we have a little bit of texture that happening in the background. And we'll try and bring out that texture a bit more. But that's the other fun thing, is you can either do it completely flat, or by adding texture, you can get some interesting pattern in the background there. So now we're going to take our crayons again and put them on. few places. I like adding that yellow, it just sort of helps brighten up some areas. And now we're going to just use our finger and smudge it on. And I find, especially since we already have that base, that they smudge really well. And again, you want to do this over gesso. If you just had it on the regular paper, I have my paper there still, we can try it just to see the difference. But this is how you can add some more depth to the color if you find that after you put the water through it, it had sort of softened more than you wanted. So here's that other one. So if I put some pink down, I had some on my finger. So it smudges out, but you don't get that same richness of color when you do it on the gessoed background. Want a bit more pink. Put some pink up there. Now I want to show you this one I had done when I was playing around, just to give you some idea of the texture. I made some different texture with the gesso and then picked it up with the color, and that's where all that part comes in. So you can really play around with your different colors and the texture of the gesso to make some interesting backgrounds. So we have this background here, which is looking great so far, but now comes the magic of the crayons. And so I'm using this lace stencil from the Crafter's Workshop, and I'm going to just place it down. And I'm going to take a wet one, but you can do a baby wipe or even just water for this technique. And now I'm going to remove the color. And you can see it goes right down to the gesso. And again, you can't really do this technique without having gesso on your base. You need that gesso. And you just keep working your card until all of that area, all the color is removed from where you're seeing it through your stencil. So I'm just going to do a bit more. I just keep moving my cloth around because you'll see it starts to get holes because it gets caught in the stencil. Because this particular stencil has all these little bits that is catching the wet one. So that's why I keep moving it around. As well, you want a nice clean area to remove more color. And if there is an area you want to go back, you can go back and remove some more. But I think we have most of it. It's looking pretty white there. So we remove our stencil, and ta-da! We have this really cool background. And then what I also like to do is go in with the walnut stain. And just add a bit around the edge. And then I smudge that with my finger. And then, just to finish off the card, I use this set. It's called Happy Stamp and Cut. And I cut out the happy from the Thermoweb toner paper, the peel and stick one. I just have to find a place to peel this off. And then I ran it through my laminator with the foil. I don't know if you can see it, sort of shiny. I did the new dark blue foils. Just need to find a place where I can get that. There we go. I like the peel and stick one, so you don't have to worry about gluing. I find the adhesive to be quite strong on it. I'm just going to turn it around so I can see where I'm placing it. So there we have happy. And then I've taken the word birthday. I'm just going to stamp it there. And so you can stamp over the crayons using archival ink. So there's birthday. So then we have these other ones. With this one I used Mayflamme, has a new line of embellishments called 28 Lilac Lane. And it comes with some sequins, buttons, pearls, beads, ribbons, and charms. So I just used the combination of the sequins and pearls to add a bit of sparkle to this card. And the other two I just left as they were. So that shows you a few ways of how you can use the new Distress crayons from Tim Holtz and Ranger. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, to like our video, and subscribe to Scrap Time videos on YouTube. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.